though he may not be well too known. But unlike other Suchomimuses, he is not your average Suchomimus. Both physically and mentally. And that is why today we will finally uncover the mysteries surrounding this character. Today we are going to travel through Stromclaws' past to see why is he like this and why is he this blue color. Let's get into it. The year was late spring 2005. And like all, we begin here at a very simple nest until they came into the world. And from here on out, life was great for young Stromclaw. He would then play with his siblings, eating copious amounts of food. And that's how it was for the next 5 years, until sadly, it started out like all the others. It was 5 years later, and they were going out just for some fish. But what they didn't know is something or someone was on their trail. And their mother thought they just hit the jackpot. They just found a dead carcass. But what they didn't know was the danger that was lurking and biding its time. Until it attacked. Their mother was trying everything that she got to try and defend this invader. But unfortunately, it was too strong. Stromclaw wanted to help out his mother, but she told him to stay back. She then scratches the attacker in the face. Both of them are exhausted, but the invader is not done. He slunkers away, ready to fight another day. And she ushers for her kids to get going before he comes back. Stromclaw was traumatized that day, but thankfully, his family was still alright. For a while, Stromclaw thought that was it, but little did he know that was just the beginning. Later on, a few months later, everything was going great. His siblings were just eating as he was just simply hanging out with his mom. But sadly, the ground began to quake underneath their feet as they felt the true danger coming. She looks in horror, and Stromclaw's mother, she is terrified of what she sees. Heading straight for them is a stampede. She quickly grabs the kids. Sadly, there's just not enough time to get out of the way, so instead she resorts to a different tactic. She puts the kids into a ditch until she makes another horrifying discovery. There's just not enough space in the ditch, so thus she lays on Stromclaw as tightly as she can get, and then she braces for her impact. After 2 minutes, the stampede has ended, but sadly Stromclaw's mother, she's in terrible condition. They go to check on her, and what they see is terrible. She's been almost completely crushed, her bones are absolutely destroyed, and she has a broken arm. But she's somehow still alive, but she cannot get up. And sadly, things have only gotten worse. The monster who caused this was none other than the same Beckled Spinax that they saw a few months prior. And he's back for revenge, and this time to finish the job. watches in horror as his own mother was just killed in front of him. But that's when it's not over yet. Being only kids, Stormclaw's siblings try to run, and Stormclaw watches in horror as his sibling has just been swallowed by this beast. And he's not over yet. Then he turns his eyes to his sister. Scared and confused, and sadly too young to fight, he runs. What felt like minutes turned into weeks, and then years. And sadly, the poor young Stormclaw, he was traumatized that day, and for life. And that's when 15 years have passed since that horrifying event in his life. Being a fully grown adult, he now has the power to take on almost anything on the island, because Stormclaw hit the jackpot in terms of genetics. He was born with gigantism, resulting in him becoming larger than usual Suchomimuses, and getting a unique blue color. With his striking features and his robust size, it gives him the power to take on almost any dinosaur on the island. At least, I say almost. Right now, we're just gonna have to assume. But that's when there's just something missing in Stormclaw's life. The thing that almost everyone wants in life is companionship. And for Stormclaw, sadly, he's not had much luck. So, he's gonna go try again for the 6th time this month, before the season ends. Stormclaw has been desperately trying to get a mate for a quite long time right now. But every time he does, for some reason the females are always interested in the usual males. And thus he's usually heartbroken and humiliated every time he tries. So thus, every time he tries, he just never succeeds. And you may be thinking, shouldn't the females find him interesting because of his unique color? The truth is far from, well, sadly, the answer is far from the truth. It almost seems like the females actually hate his blue color. And so because of this, he has never found a mate. And I don't want to say this, but he may never will. So thus, it's why he's given up. That is why, to this day, he continues to remain without a mate. At least to this, as of this recording. But Stormclaw, he has one thing: his strength and his fighting spirit. With those, he will easily take down any opponent that dares to mess with the king of the swamps.